that was the day my homosexual struggle broke. I met a woman through Kathy, her best friend, who I went head over heels for. She knew I was gay for 2 years, and she was praying for me. And we're happily married now, coming up on 15 years of marriage, have 2 beautiful children, and my story is just a nightmare which has been turned into a dream come true. And Jesus Christ is the one who gave me everything, and I just love Him today, and I truly do believe in miracles.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me, Stephen Bennett. Hey, Steve. God bless you.
God bless you.
God bless you. Amen. Irene. Oh, we're so delighted to have you here on Helpline. Looking at somebody who had such an incredible lifestyle of so many years, how does one overlook and overcome that and say, God, this is the man for me?
Well, I remember living in my mother's house, kneeling by my bed at night and asking God to send me a godly husband. Then all my prayers for all those years make sense now.
Wow.
Now I know why.
Wow.
And I told him that. And we were both like, oh, this is, God putting us together. This is amazing.
Dr. Sewell, I want to tell you that, as I said before, Jesus Christ has changed me completely. 2 Corinthians 5:17, therefore, if any man be in Christ, he's a new creature. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. What God has done in my heart, and I say this before you and the Lord, I no longer struggle whatsoever with homosexuality, with any of these things. God has made me new. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with Him.
So it's complete.
It is complete. It is complete. And I am so grateful and thankful. And then on top of it, I mean, God did more abundantly than I could have ever asked or imagined. He gives me this beautiful woman, not only on the outside, but on the inside. All she ever did was talk about Jesus, Jesus. That's why I was so attracted to her. And we're coming up on 15 years of incredible marriage. 2 beautiful children. And God has called us as a husband and wife, as one, to preach and share His truth now to the nations. That no one is born gay. That homosexuality, that people can be set completely free from this.
We support homosexuals if
who
they
choose to change.
We
people should have the right.
Well, the research is showing that you can't really do it, which is why Dr.
They forgot to include me in the research, Joy.
Okay.
You'll never meet a former black man, but you met a former homosexual
All right.
today.
I'm happy that you came here to describe your situation. Thanks very much.
Thank you for having me.
Never in a million years would I have thought I'd be speaking at something like this, especially if you were to go back, until I was about 24, 25, because I was living the gay lifestyle myself. And you know what? I would have been standing over there having an argument with somebody that this is the way I was born and that there's nobody going to change that because this is who I am. So the fact that I'm standing before you is the first miracle. So amen to that. But I'll tell you, I lived that life for at least 10 years, and it was a crazy time in my life, and those feelings were real. And I spent a lot of time in relationships and things, and just that's what it was. It was my identity. And as I went off to college and things, it became more and more my identity as I got out of my parents' hair and stuff, and really immersed myself in that life. And I thought I was free living that life because these feelings were real. These thoughts were real and stuff. And I said, well, I'm going to embrace these. This is who I am. And the more immersed and the more I lived that life, to me it was empty. And it just began to be a place of depression for me, where I just wasn't fulfilled. So people go, well, I've tried to leave that life, but it didn't work. I prayed, I said, have you been specific about it? Have you died to yourself? Have you laid on the floor and said, Jesus, take this away from me because I want to follow you, Jesus? Because God showed me a vision. And never in my life did I think I would see that fulfilled. But I would like to introduce you to my wife, Pam, and our 3 daughters, who have Jillian, Caitlin, and Molly right here. And that vision was so accurate. God still speaks to us.
Hi, my name is Brian, and I've been married for 8 years now. I'm actually the father of 3 small girls. I have a 5-year-old daughter, a 3-year-old daughter, and a 8.5-month-old daughter now. But this is quite a different path that I'm on right now, because several years ago, I had a very, very big struggle with homosexuality, and it lasted for many years, from teenager up until about 10, 12 years ago. So I'm here to tell you a little bit about my story and how God really showed me that I was on the wrong path, and how He showed me how to follow the path that was set before me from before I was born, and how He brought me to this place where I am now. But it's because I had such a sexual, sinful background and breaking free from that, even for myself. There was so much bondage there. It was a really hard thing. And as that became more real, and I think as God knew that I was getting close to meeting my wife, that He needed to make sure if I couldn't be trusted with myself, I certainly couldn't be trusted with a woman. And as time went on, I really began to feel like, as I distanced myself from it, that it wasn't about going from gay to straight. The opposite of homosexual is not heterosexual. I believe the opposite of being gay or homosexual is being right with God. And as God made me right with Him, He brought back those desires for women when I was ready. And you can't sit there, and I've talked to people that sit there and go, well, I don't want to be gay, but I don't feel like I'm attracted to women. You know what? You don't have to worry about that. That's God's department. If you commit yourself to Him, you're dedicated about it, He can give you those desires. And at the right time, probably a couple years, 2 or 3 years after after I gave that all up, I began a journey of meeting the woman that I would marry.
The first time, it was like we had been out forever. Yeah, I mean, we had a relatively short dating experience. It was only about 8 months, and then we knew that we were ready to get married.
Yeah.
It didn't take very long.
No, it's definitely something that I knew so soon after meeting her that I felt that she was the one for me and that God had put her in my life. But I have to say, I was definitely thinking about my past and all these things that I had done, and thinking, my gosh, do I have to tell her my background?
Yeah, and he alluded a couple times to there's something I have to tell you about my past. There's, I want to share something with you. I was almost relieved, okay, because I have my own past. I became a Christian, right before we met. God, when I first saw Brian, I wasn't a believer. So he, God definitely in His perfect timing had me meet Brian later. So I was a really new Christian at the time, and so I had my own past, and I didn't really think of his past as any different than my past. There's a picture of him coming out from behind the kiss, and his face is bright red. It went way beyond church kiss.
Yeah, I had waited a long time, so I think I gave a little bit more than what's called a church kiss, apparently. But you can see what I was waiting for, and I can just say that God very much blessed our wedding night as well.
Yes, that's true.
Hi, I'm Laura Perry, and I was in the film In His Image, and I'm a former transgender. I lived that way for about 9 years, and God has just radically set me free, and now He's continuing to just restore and redeem my life so far beyond what I ever imagined, and now He's brought this amazing man into my life. This is Perry. Initially, I did not have any clue that I was going to get married. I told God, I said, I'm fine if I'm just single the rest of my life. And when I left the transgender lifestyle, I really thought I would just always feel like a man. I thought I was just always going to feel trans, but I was just going to deny that for Christ. I had no idea the healing that God was going to bring into my heart and my life. But as He healed me, I began to desire a husband, but I prayed. I said, God, I want whoever You want for me, and I asked God to arrange my marriage. And so I really trusted the Lord. I think the Lord put that on my heart and really prepared me for 2 or 3 years.
And I was really comfortable being single. I wasn't really looking for anybody. I didn't need anybody. And then I met Laura. I had prayed that the Lord would give me somebody that I could be on the same team with her. And I was attracted to her beautiful smile and her very positive attitude. her love for the Lord, her love for the Word of God, her desire to do ministry, her desire to obey God no matter what. She's become irresistible to me ever since then.
I think I'd known for a while that God had a husband for me, but as we started dating and as we got closer to marriage, a lot of these fears and these insecurities and anxieties started coming out. Fears about being rejected, fears about being left or dumped or not looking good enough, all kinds of insecurities about my body and the things that I'd changed. I'd had a double mastectomy, and he knew all those things really before we started dating. He knew my testimony and my past, but there was still a lot of fears of, is he really going to be able to handle this?
I haven't had any trouble with her past because her past is in the past. And she is not the same person that she once was. God has radically changed her and redeemed her. She's a new creature.
There were so many times he had to reassure me that he really loved me and that he accepted the things about me and the things about my body that are different, and like that I don't have breasts anymore and things like that. And I've been amazed by his love for me. God has so far above anything I ever asked or imagined. God has just exceeded every expectation or belief or thought that I had, any plan for my life. I really honestly thought I was going to be miserable the rest of my life. I thought if I can just obey God for the next 40, 50 years, then I knew I was going to be okay in heaven. I knew that I would have a redeemed body. I knew I'd no longer have a sin nature. I knew there would be no more tears. So I knew I was just sort of hanging on until then. But I've just been blown away by what God has done in my life. And so I want to encourage anybody that's watching this, God is so much bigger than we make him. And whatever you're struggling with, Jesus has overcome all sin. He died on the cross to save us from our sins, but he was raised again to new life. And he wants the same for us, to raise us again to new life, to make us new creatures. And that's something that Perry has shared with me several times, that he sees me as the new creature that God has created me to be and not as my old past. And for any parents out there, the enemy used to tell my mom all the time, you just need to accept this. She's never going to change. She's always going to be this way, and you just need to get over it. But it wasn't true.
Who gives this beautiful bride to be married? Her mother and I.
And God has changed my heart. He's changed my mind. He's changed my beliefs. He's changed my emotions and my desires. And I'm just stunned at what God has done. So there's, with man, this may seem impossible, but with God, all things are possible.
I love you, Laura. And I know that God has brought us together.
Are you with this ring? I pledge my life and love to you.
I pledge my life and love to you. Your family will be my family, and you, O God, my God.